I grew up in a home that was a Christian home since I was 2. So my parents were saved about the time I was 2. And then I was homeschooled K-12, oldest of 8 kids. The part of my testimony is that I've been really blessed in having Christian parents who stuck it out and stayed married to each other and decided to raise their children together. I was saved at the age of 6, so my mom, just from when we were really young, was instilling those principles in us. As a kid, I was the kid in Sunday school who was always like, pick me, I know all the answers. I've read my picture Bible 6 times from cover to cover, and I know the answer to that. But I didn't really understand what the relationship with Jesus actually meant. And I can remember sitting in on conversations that my mom and aunt would have about Jesus. And I'd be sitting at the table and I would just feel like I needed to go somewhere else. I needed to escape because they were talking about God and Jesus in a way that was too much like they knew him. And I felt like I think I was 10 years old or something. But at that age, I could tell that they knew him in a way that I didn't. And it was a way I was supposed to know him rather than facts. I was actually supposed to know God. And I didn't know what that was. And I felt really uncomfortable around people who did know what that was because I felt like I was missing something. And about the age of 14, when all of a sudden it just kind of clicked. And I was like, oh my gosh, Jesus is a person that I can actually know in a real way. I think during that time we learned a lot about what it means to actually live for God and in your day-to-day life, how you can actually have a relationship with him and relate to him and kind of offer every aspect of your life up to him. Praying about what God has for me next, really seeking his direction in where to go. Last summer I had an opportunity to work with a youth ministry for 7 weeks where I really felt like I got to speak into young people's lives in a really meaningful way. And like every day felt like I was doing something impactful for the kingdom of God. What I want to do most is make the biggest difference I can for God, wherever that is. The following Wednesday from that interview, whenever it was, I bought a plane ticket to go to Hawaii because I went there last summer and served with Youth with a Mission. Knew I wasn't going to get back for at least a year, only had 2 weeks, but decided I wanted to go down for at least 2 weeks just to revisit people. So bought a plane ticket, took off Thursday morning, showed up on campus kind of wondering why I'd even gone there. I went to the opening of the Olympics party and met some people, and ended up hitching a ride home with this gal who is interested in theater. I do theater things, so we got to talking and she was like, why don't we go to coffee tomorrow? And I was like, okay, yeah, I just met you, let's go have breakfast. So we went to this nice cafe on the side of the mountain on the Big Island of Hawaii, and we're just sitting there drinking coffee. She's telling me what it is that she is trying to figure her life out, and I'm saying, oh yeah, I just got my library degree and I'm trying to find a job, trying to decide what I'm going to do. I'm just here visiting for a couple weeks, and I must have said library and job together in the sentence because this lady who was walking by our table just turned around, and it took me a little bit to realize what was going on, turned around and slammed the table in front of me and said, we need you, we need you. And I was like, I'm just enjoying my coffee here. And she said, I'm a 5th grade teacher at a local public school. We can't find a certified librarian anywhere. Here's the principal's personal cell phone number. Here's my cell phone number. Stop by the school anytime. So normally I would sit on something like that and wait and kind of, oh, do I want to? But I was like, okay, I guess I'm just going to call the principal. So I called her immediately, like 5 minutes later. She answered. She said she never answers numbers she doesn't recognize. Chatted with her a little bit, ended up going to visit the school later that week. I had a good feeling about it and just started going through the hoops of moving and getting contracts signed, and there's all kinds of tests I had to take and things that had to go through, and so far all the paperwork has gone through. I just got notified today that I am approved to get my license. They wrote my contract and mailed it to the school today, with the higher pay grade, yay. And, my car had to sell. I had to find a place to live, and I don't even think it took a week for my car to sell, for me to get rid of all the things I had in storage. I already had a place set up to stay with people that I knew on the island. Just worked out timing-wise. Like, when God decides to move, look out, because he moves fast. You just can't keep up. And even during the time when I was on the island, I was in the prayer room that second week, and just praying about the job and this opportunity, and going, okay, God, I can't deny that this is you working, because there's no way I could manipulate all these things into happening. But I'm still feeling scared about it a little bit, and unsure, and in one of those very evangelical Christian ways, I was like, maybe I just need to claim it. Maybe I just need to, I just need to speak it out and say, oh, this is my job. And I tried to start to do that, and the words caught in my throat. It was like I could not get them out. And I was like, what is that about? And I felt like God was like, hey, I set this in motion. Why are you trying to take control of it? Like, this is my deal. So you just need to sit back, and you need to watch me work, do what you need to do, but don't try to take control of the situation. Well, I had 4 or 5 different options that I was trying to push through and explore, and none of them felt right. And just kept trying to pursue those, and they just kept falling through, hitting walls. And then finally, when God decided to move, it just went like this. Everything fell into place. Something I realized is that when I gave my life to God, Jesus purchased me. I belong to him. So I don't need to worry about anything. He's responsible for taking care of me. He's responsible for making things work out. All I have to do is obey. Like, my only responsibility is to be obedient, and he lines up everything else.